What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, where do I begin? As you guys know, we're waiting on the Mayweather opponent. Right now, he's doing some kind of voting shit on MayweatherPromotions.com, where you vote. He said he's going to let the fans pick his opponent out of Marcos Maidana and Amir Khan. And to me, it seems like Amir Khan is starting to get desperate. If you guys have been following the polls, you'll know that Maidana has really been in the lead ever since they created the voting process. I believe Maidana has kept the lead. And I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. So Amir Khan went to Twitter. So this is what Amir Khan had to say. Mayweather says he needs an easy fight and fans want to see a knockout. So maybe that's the reason he doesn't want to fight me and wants to fight Maidana, question mark. Then he also continued, for those that hate me and think Floyd Mayweather can KO me, then let's see him try. Fight me. Skill versus skill, speed versus speed. And then finally he said, Floyd Mayweather says he's picking either me or Maidana. Why would you even consider my leftovers? Now, you know me, I'm gonna speak my mind. And some fans get it twisted. Some people think it's actually deeper than what it really is. At the end of the day, I'm not here to say what's popular. I'm here to blog, speak my personal thoughts. I always give it to you guys uncut and let you know what I'm truly thinking. It has nothing to do with being biased or hating a fighter. Some people think I hate Amir Khan. I don't hate him. I genuinely tell you what I feel about him. If you hate somebody, then you should be slandering them, probably going out of your way. If you check all of my videos where I've ever mentioned Khan, I state my opinion. I state my truth, what I see, what I perceive, my observations. I never belittle Khan. I never say he's gay or question his manhood or say he's stupid or he's the shittiest thing ever. I never said no dumb shit like that. That's what some of you guys do. You guys get on here and there's someone who makes videos and uploads them or whatnot, and you try to chastise them or criticize them and say, oh, you hate fighter X, you hate fighter A, and you guys are the ones that call other fighters names like, oh, faggot Pacquiao or gay runner, or you know what I mean? I'm not doing that. I don't do that. I have videos. I know how to articulate myself. I've never badmouthed Khan and said anything or like tested him. I just give you my uncut opinion of what I feel about him as a fighter. Now, enough of that. I want to talk about these statements. I mean, to me, a lot of these statements are just ludicrous. Where do I even begin? First of all, I don't know what he's saying. He's saying Mayweather says he's picking either me or Maidana. Why would you either consider fighting my leftovers? Like, first of all, let's be honest. Marcos Maidana, present day, is not the same Marcos Maidana that Amir Khan fought. So I give props to Amir Khan for having a Maidana who has always been a puncher and having him severely hurt in the first round. He landed a dazzling, beautiful, brilliant body shot, almost put Maidana away, but it wasn't enough. Maidana recuperated, got back to it, and was able to work himself back in the fight. Let's not forget, he made this collage, or he posted this collage of all the things that he was doing great in the fight, no problem. But he omitted the fact that in the later rounds, he was hanging on for dear life. Maidana had him skipping around the ring. I think it was Cortez was the ref, had him catching some breaks. I think the ref intervened, gave him time, bought him time, and gave him time to kind of recuperate and come back to his senses. And I think that definitely helped him. Maidana also punched himself out. Another thing you got to keep in mind is Maidana fought him at a lower weight division, and even bigger than that, it was pre-Robert Garcia. I think since he's partnered with Robert Garcia, Maidana said on All Access before the Broner fight, when they were leading up to the Broner fight, he was contemplating retiring. He felt ashamed after, I think, the Devin Alexander loss, and he contemplated retiring. I guess his agent or something said, hey, I got this guy out in Oxnard. You need to meet with him and try to establish that. He'll train you. He's a good trainer. And that was Robert Garcia. And the rest is history. They teamed up. They partnered. He liked it. And he's strung up some credible wins. I mean, Maidana with Robert Garcia is possibly undefeated, I think. I don't know. I think he's undefeated. I think the only thing he really lost at welterweight It was Devin Alexander, and I don't think that was before Robert Garcia. So I think he might be undefeated with Robert Garcia. But either way, he has solid wins over Jesus Soto Caras, an always game and tough opponent who stopped Andre Berto and gave him problems. Beat Selchuk Aydin, who was only once beaten by Robert Guerrero. He has a win over Josecito Lopez and a dominant dethroning performance of Adrian Broner, who was the champ, making him the champ and giving him the belt. So as far as Amir Khan saying, why would you consider fighting my leftovers? Probably because Maidana's not the same fighter, and probably because Maidana isn't champion at 147. As far as Amir Khan, we've never seen him fight at 147 professionally. We've seen him fight at catchweight against Julio Diaz, who is widely considered used and abused, shop worn, and he gave you all you can handle. So maybe you train for the Mayweather fight, or maybe being at the full 147 instead of the 143 or 144, or whatever the Diaz fight was at. Maybe that helps you, or you look better, or you take it more seriously. But we don't have anything to base it off. We know Maidana has power to hurt welterweights. We know he's strung up some impressive victories. Again, Soto Caras, Josecito Lopez, he weathered some adversity and then came back to stop Josecito. He completely pummeled Adrian Broner. So I don't understand. Amir Khan just seems kind of delusional with some of these statements. Why would you consider fighting my leftovers? And he's making it sound like they're leftovers, like he dominated Maidana. He looked good in spots of the fight, but towards the end of the fight, he was getting shaken up and getting hit and getting touched and almost out of there. So I don't understand comments like that. Really hard for me to follow his logic. I mean, I give him props for being brave, having the guts and the cojones to want to take these big fights and never back out. That's one thing Amir Khan, you can call him cocky, arrogant, whatever you want to call him, but he doesn't back down. So that's good. I like to see fighters. I'd rather see someone like that than someone who has skill and athletic ability like a Victor Ortiz, but he shits it out the window because he doesn't have the same heart. So I've never taken that away from Amir Khan. He shows tremendous heart. He has for quite some time, in plenty of his fights, even when it probably wasn't beneficial. Sometimes he went toe to toe when he probably should have been hugging. So props to him for being a warrior and having heart. But I just can't back these comments that he's saying. Then he also said Mayweather says he needs an easy fight and fans want to see a knockout. So maybe that's the reason he doesn't want to fight me and wants Maidana. I mean, the way I'm interpreting it, I think he's saying that it'll be easier for Floyd to knock out Maidana as opposed to him. And if that is the case, then that's fucking ludicrous because Maidana has proven time and time again that he's a tough motherfucker, tough son of a bitch. Maidana fought Broner, who has some pop. I don't know how much he has at welterweight, but in the past has showed power. He fought Victor Ortiz. He fought you and weathered a body shot. You in terms of Amir Khan. And you look at Amir Khan, and he is the fighter who a lot of people say has a glass chin. He's easy to hurt if you touch him on the chin. They say he has a shaky chin, glass jaw, whatever you want to call it. He showed that in the Bradis Prescott fight. He showed it in the Danny Garcia fight. And you're making it sound like you're an opponent who has a tougher chin than Maidana. And I don't think that's the case. Now, I'm not talking about stylistically who can pose more problems for Mayweather. It's not about that. But we got to look at some of the actual facts. And it's funny to me how some people hate Mayweather so much where you already think of a million excuses why the fight shouldn't happen with opponent X, Y, and Z. And you're quick to shit on opponent 1 and then opponent 2 and then 3. It's always going to be something, like no matter what, whoever he picks. Amir Khan, he has speed, he has reach, he has length, but his chin is kind of shaky. So he could possibly trouble Floyd in spots, win some rounds, but so can Marcos Maidana. Maidana has actual equalizing power, get you out of there, knock you out of your senses power, and he's the champion. So I don't understand. Like, I've never really seen, you don't see this with too many fighters, where the guy who's a pound for pound number 1 dude, Mayweather, has an opportunity to fight a champion in his division and people get mad. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, Robert Guerrero put himself into a spot where he had a belt, an interim belt. He was the mandatory for Mayweather. Mayweather gets criticized for fighting his mandatory. Then he goes up in weight and fights Canelo at a catch weight, a guy who's big and comes in weighing 165 plus pounds in fights, and he makes it look like easy work. That's not good enough. Then there was a opportunity to fight Devin Alexander at one point, and Mayweather tweeted that this is my front runner, and people complained about that. They're like, "Oh, Devin Alexander, that sucks," and he's going after the weakest link champion. Um, and now you're talking about Marcus Maidana, someone who convincingly beat a fighter he was favored to lose to, which was Adrian Broner, and people are complaining Maidana's too slow, he's too plodding, he's too flat-footed. And I've never seen this. I've never really seen any other fighter get so much hate where he can't even fight the champions in his division. If he doesn't fight Sergio Martinez, who's been fighting at 160, or Gennady Golovkin, who's been fighting at 160, or whoever else, Kovalev, or whoever you guys want to see, then he's a pussy. And I don't understand it. So some people, if he fights Khan, they say that's a bad fight because Khan doesn't have a chin. He hasn't proven anything at welterweight and has looked suspect in recent fights. But if he fights a champion in his division, that's also a problem. Like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. But as far as Amir Khan, back to Amir Khan, like I said, I feel him. I understand the hustle. You're trying to get you that shot, trying to get that Mayweather sweepstakes, that Mayweather payday. Maybe you're a little bit fearful because Maidana has taken the lead. But fuck stylistically and fuck who we feel is going to give him the toughest fight. Who deserves it more? And I think Maidana deserves it more. Even though Khan beat Maidana, you can't look at the past when the past has clearly changed. I mean, there's been a lot of significant changes. Maidana looks like a better fighter than when he fought Khan. He looks better with Robert Garcia. I've seen him employ a jab consistently. He strung up some welterweight wins, stoppages on a lot of them, dominant performances in the Broner fight, whereas Khan has seemed to be on the B side and decline. He got stopped by Lamont Peterson, or excuse me, he got stopped by Danny Garcia. Right before that, he lost to Lamont Peterson. He had a Carlos Molina fight where he pulled up a guy in weight, did his thing in that fight. Then the very next fight at a catchweight with Julio Diaz, he gets dropped against someone who later rematched a guy had a draw with, Sean Porter, and clearly got his ass beat in the second fight. So how much does Julio Diaz really have left, and why did Julio Diaz provide so many problems for Amir Khan? So fuck stylistically, who deserves it more? And I would say at this particular juncture, whether you want to see it or you think Maidana has a lesser shot than Amir Khan to make it interesting because he's flat-footed or whatever, I think Maidana has put himself in a position where he deserves it more. I don't personally care. I mean, they're going to fight whoever they want to fight anyway. But Maidana definitely deserves the fight more. He's a fucking champion. And I don't understand how that's so hard for some people to understand. People are like, oh, why the fuck should Maidana get the fight? He's a fucking champion in Floyd Mayweather's division. And he wants the fight. And he has power. So just because you don't give him a good chance to win, or you think Amir Khan will give Floyd a bigger run for his money, it doesn't matter who deserves the fight. And then, like I said, as far as Amir Khan talking about Maidana as leftovers, I don't agree with that either. That's like me saying Mauricio Herrera is a better fighter than Timothy Bradley because Mauricio Herrera beat Ruslan Provodnikov, and he had less hassle in doing that than Timothy Bradley did in Ruslan Provodnikov. But again, those are different circumstances, different timing. Ruslan Provodnikov now has Freddie Roach as a trainer. He seems to be on the up and coming. He seems to be a better fighter. And that's part of boxing. Sometimes you have to take a loss. Sometimes you have to go back and look at your mistakes. Sometimes you have to regroup. Sometimes you have to get a new trainer. And you have to build and mature as a fighter. So you can't say, oh, in the Amir Khan versus Maidana fight, because this happened, that fast forward to the future, Maidana deserves it less than me because he's my leftovers. But Maidana has been on the incline up, whereas Khan has been on the decline going down in his performances, if that makes any sense to some of you guys. So, again, using the Mauricio Herrera beat Ruslan Provodnikov. Yet, I think Timothy Bradley is a better fighter than Mauricio Herrera. I think Timothy Bradley just chose to fight a stupid fight, and he almost got knocked out for it against Ruslan Provodnikov. Plus, I think Ruslan has been improving. He got with Freddie Roach, and he just seems to be maturing and improving as a fighter. He seems like a better fighter than he was perhaps a couple years ago. Same thing with Marcos Maidana. I think he genuinely is a better fighter. Now, I'm not pushing either fight. I'm not here to push an agenda. I'm just really responding to Amir Khan's claims and calling Maidana leftovers. But fuck that. I really think it's about who deserves to fight more. And at this particular point, Maidana. He at least has welterweight fights. He has welterweight stoppages. He has a dominant performance against Broner, a guy he was expected to lose to. Whereas Khan, no matter how many problems you think he might give Floyd, based on his attributes and his strengths, hasn't done anything at welterweight. It's not really fucking hard to understand. Let me know what you guys think of Amir Khan's comments. Obviously, he wants the Mayweather fight. He understands the severity. He understands that he's losing out to Maidana. So, I guess, like I said, desperate times call for desperate measures, and he's trying to land that fight and try to bait Mayweather into some shit. But there's no way you can clearly convince me. And if you think you can, tell me how Amir Khan, aside from stylistically, him possibly giving Mayweather more problems than Maidana based on the way he fights and his in and out movement and his speed. Tell me what he's done to deserve the Mayweather sweepstakes right now over Marcos Maidana. Please leave an educated comment. Let me know that. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.